Hey, Debbie.
Hey, Bronwyn. Long time.
I'm just sitting it out today again. Thank you for tilting your camera down.
You get to see all my messiness.
All of it, all the cooking stuff. Hey, listen, quick question. I can't seem to quickly figure out how to find the recipes for the current week of the meal prep videos.
So if you go into the topic, go into topic and then go to meal prep videos, they should be in there.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Do I have to admit anybody? Just you and I so far? Okay. I'll wait here for a minute.
Wait, Kimmie's going to be here, right?
One assumes. Yeah, I'm sure. So, sometimes it's Zoom. Sometimes you think you can get right in. Like every other Zoom, I can enter through the events page, the events in Empowered Health. But for this Zoom, for whatever reason, I have to go through Zoom as the host because it'll say, even though I'm the host, it'll say the host is waiting. So, we've got a new person, Linda. Dun, dun, dun. 1, 2, 3. There's Kimmie. Let's see if they're showing up here.
Hi.
Hi, Kimmie.
Hi. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Let me turn this up a little bit though. And I probably should put my earbuds in.
Okay.
Linda, can you hear us? There's Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda. Oh, she's connecting.
Nikki, just before starting their family, I was
it's not connecting.
it took a lot of his parents helped.
Hang on, I'm going to try to do something with.
An older home, and you can find things wrong with it.
It's just maintenance. Every house needs maintenance. I've changed the windows. We have done work on the outside. We've painted.
A lot of what we were doing, to me, was just more working towards the
Does someone have the TV on, or like I'm hearing a TV?
Yeah, I think it might be Linda.
At this location or this yard anymore.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi.
How about now? I hit this is what happened. There we go. Technology at its finest.
Yes.
Well, Linda, welcome. It doesn't look like you're cooking with us today. You just going to hang out? Diane's on her way in.
Kimmie, can you turn your camera, tilt it down when you get a chance, and it's not that I don't want to see your face.
I will. I'll tilt it down once
Hello.
we started.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. How rude. You don't want to see my face.
Okay, there's Diane. Hey, Diane, are you cooking with us or just coming in to watch?
I'm coming in to watch.
All right. Well, here we go. I'm starting to feel, Kimmie, like it's you and I.
Yeah. Okay. You're cooking today. Good.
Well, I have a caveat. I'm cooking, but I'm cooking 2 different meals. So you just do what you're doing.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we are going to get started. We're going to be prepping our teriyaki chicken over broccoli and bok choy, and that is a sheet pan dinner. We're going to be making everything bagel, salmon, and we're going to have some roasted eggplant, which I forgot to get out, and which I know I'm trying to use some vegetables that you don't usually, aren't usually go-tos. So we're doing roasted eggplant and some green beans. And then we're having turkey burgers, which are delicious, and we're going to be wrapping those instead of a bun, in a collard wrap, which I love collards. Making homemade fries And we're going to be using this Dijon coarse mustard for our topping for our burgers, along with a lot of other good stuff. Anyway, so we're going to actually start by preheating our oven, if you haven't already, to 375, because we're going to be making a breakfast buffalo chicken frittata. And that is what we are going to actually start with today. So I'm going to tilt my camera down so you can kind of see what's going on here. I might move you a little closer in and get everything out of the way. So preheat the oven. I'm going to be doing my, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to be doing my frittata in a little pie dish like this, but you could use a big 9x13 if you'd like, but I'm going to be using this guy. So what you're going to do is you're going to heat a little bit over, you can use ghee. I actually don't have any ghee, so I'm using some coconut oil. And we are going to get celery and shallots, and we're going to dice the celery pretty thin. And I went ahead and I've already cut my celery in half, so I could just kind of be one step ahead of you, but hopefully everything's washed and ready to go.
So the best way to join these meal preps, oh, somebody's wanting to come in and I'm sitting over here cutting things up. One of the best ways to, when you join us, is to go through the menus, obviously, and already have a lot of your stuff chopped up, or at least.
Yes, that is key. Yeah.
We've been doing this for 4 weeks now, so we're all feeling kind of but just for those of you that are new, Kimmie's out of Atlanta, and she is a personal trainer and does food prep. I'm none of those things. Not anymore. And just so you know, I'm in an RV, so that's why it looks so very weird. But just to kind of clue you all in. So feel free to ask questions during this if you want to know how something's done. Bronwyn's really good at saying, hey, what's that utensil? I've never seen it or whatever. So any resources that you need, just ask us and we'll answer.
Yep. Or you could also in the chat. Yep. Use the chat. Perfect. Thank you. Perfect. Yep. You can ask away in the chat, and when I look up and see, I can answer. Either Debbie or myself will answer.
Yeah. No worries, Denise. Sometimes it's kind of, Diane, what did I say, Denise? It's kind of fun to come in and see what we're doing, so that the next time that we do this, you can pop in and you've already got a clue.
Yeah. And also Debbie posts the recording too, so you could go back and do it another time.
Yep. Feel free.
Right, I've got the oil nice and warm in the skillet. I'm just going to throw in the celery and the shallots. And I have already got my rotisserie chicken. I'm using a rotisserie chicken that I just got at the store, and I went ahead and shredded that. But if you do not have that already done, you can go ahead and do that now. And this is just, you see this consistency, I just used my hands actually to shred it. Looks like that. All right. And then, oh, good thing I did that. I just found a bone. Okay, so then you're going to get 12 eggs, and you are going to mix away. So I'm going to just start getting some eggs in here. And if you want to use eggs or egg whites, you can kind of, sub out those. I'm going to do half full eggs and half egg whites. So the recipe calls for 12 eggs. And because I'm using breasts, you can use thighs too if you'd like, but I use a little bit of thighs as well. So any kind of part of the chicken will work. All right, so I'm gonna go give my little vegetables a stir over here. Oh, they smell so good.
And not to confuse anybody, I'm doing a couple different recipes, but I'm using Kimmie as my accountability partner. So I was like, I have to be here. So I'm not doing exactly the same thing she is. You make sure to watch her.
Watch me. All right, we're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper to your egg mixture. And I usually just do a pinch of salt, a heavy pinch. And then I'm just going to whisk these guys. So I don't want those to burn. Get these all whisked up. All right, you're supposed to add some cilantro to your shallots and your celery, but I do not have any cilantro at the time. I'm totally devastated that I'm out of cilantro right now. We used the last bit last night. So these are nice and kind of toasty. Wish you guys could smell this. All right, okay, so I am going to add, you know what, I'm gonna put the mixture in here so it doesn't cook the eggs. And then I'm gonna give it a big stir. Then you're gonna need your buffalo sauce. You could use, I think I linked the mild buffalo sauce in the grocery list. Also can use a cast iron skillet for this as well. All right, so I am going to use a half a cup. The recipe calls for a half of a cup, but if you'd like to use more, if you love buffalo sauce, I suggest you use a little bit more. All right, then I'm just gonna give this a nice little stir, make sure it's all combined. Can you see this, Bronwyn? You good?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Thank you,
Okay.
headless woman, for helping.
It looks so beautiful. It look even prettier with some beautiful cilantro. All right, so now I'm gonna combine this. Okay, I'm going to drop the egg mixture in a greased skillet or cake pan or whatever you want to use. Actually, you know what? I might use my cast iron skillet. Everything always tastes better in a nice seasoned cast iron skillet. All right, so you're gonna put the egg mixture in first, and then you're going to drop in, I don't think it really matters as far as the order, but then you're gonna drop in the chicken and the celery and the shallots. All right, and then I am just going to see if you can see this. I'm just gonna push everything down and see if I can get all the chicken to mix in with the eggs. Okay, then you're gonna pop it in the oven for 25 to 35 minutes. You just wanna make sure it's cooked all the way through. That's all you need to worry about. And then your breakfast is done for at least a couple days, or if you live by yourself, probably the whole week. All right, so now we're going to get started with our next dish, which is so incredibly easy. It's one of my favorite ways to cook chicken, a chicken and vegetable meal. I'm gonna start off with some chicken breast. You can also use thighs or whatever kind of cut you want. And then you're just gonna marinate this with this. This is a Whole30 approved, that's why we're using it today. It's the Noble Made soy-free teriyaki sauce and marinade. So we're using it as a marinade. I am gonna heavy-handed, just make sure it's kind of covered. You can use a glass container. It doesn't have to be a Ziploc bag. However you want to leave your chicken to marinate. And then you're just literally going to sit it and forget about it. This is not a super acidic seasoning or sauce or marinade. So you can actually leave this overnight, which is what I am going to do, okay? I'm actually going to sit it on a sheet pan right here, okay? Because with this sheet pan meal, we're going to have a combination of broccoli and bok choy. It's a really weird combination, but I've had it before because it's green on green. Usually I like to have a little bit more color, but it's just really delicious. So bok choy is another one of those things that some people are afraid of and they don't really use because they're not really sure how to cook with it or what to do with it. You can saute it, but today we're going to be roasting it, okay? So I've already washed and rinsed this, so don't forget that step because bok choy can absolutely kind of get a little bit dirty and grainy, like, you know, as would like celery or like romaine or something like that. So you're going to cut off the very bottom and just chunk it. All right. And then we are just going to slap maybe like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch slices. And I like the bottom part. Some people are like, you eat way too much of this part, but I'm going to eat as much of this whole plant as I can. And you're going to go all the way down into the leaves. Don't forget about the very end. Okay, and then you just kind of jumble it up. And I'll show you what it's going to look like. I'm throwing it on a sheet pan. You can't see that right now, but I'll get there in a second. Hold on. Like this. Oh, you know what? I forgot to set a timer for my frittata, and I don't want it to burn. Okay. All right, so look, I've just kind of thrown this here, and I separated and kind of mixed it all together so the bottoms are mixed in with the tops. And then I'm going to add in the broccoli. Bump it up. And we are going to be now you're going to add in a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper. So you're just going to drizzle this olive oil all over here. You want to make sure that you are using your hands and get everything coated. Sometimes, I'm not sure this. You can use the pure avocado spray. These are great to make sure everything's kind of coated evenly. You don't want anything to burn too much, okay? Then you're gonna add a little bit of salt, and you're adding your chicken breast raw right on top of the broccoli and the bok choy. So if you would like, you can kind of scooch a little hole here and then place your chicken breast here. I'm not making this now. This is going to be tomorrow's dinner, but this is how easy it is. I'm just going to place this here. I'm going to wrap this in foil, and I'm just going to sit it in my refrigerator in the bottom shelf. So I have a lot of room on the very bottom shelf. It can lay flat. And it is just going to take about, let's see, I think this takes about 25 minutes for the, ish, for it to be completely done. So if you start to notice that if you have a really thick chicken breast and you start to notice that some of your broccoli or bok choy is burning and it's done, then simply just remove the chicken and put it on another sheet pan. Take the vegetables out and just keep roasting the chicken for a little while longer, okay? So we just really want to make sure that the veggies are done and cooked through, but not burnt, and then your chicken is all the way cooked. All right, and that, my folks, is dinner number 1, okay? Now we're going to move on to the everything bagel salmon, which is delicious, with a roasted eggplant and green beans. And so I'm going to move this out of the way because this is done. Don't need my pie plate anymore. Okay, all right. So there's a really, really, really good deal at Whole Foods, and it's the wild caught salmon. I don't know if you guys have a Whole Foods, but any grocery store, the frozen seafood is going to be way less expensive than the fresh, and it's almost probably fresher because they flash freeze it right after they receive it, right? So it's not sitting in transit and then shipped and then put on the shelves of the grocery store. So I got, let's see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fillets for $30, and I probably would have spent close to $30 on one large fillet. So this is a huge cost savings, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these guys out. And we're using the Noble Made Everything Bagel Seasoning. If you have that, get that out, or any kind of other, if you have another Everything Bagel Seasoning. Okay, we are going to need a small bowl first because we're going to make our sauce, or a little bit of a sauce. It's just avocado oil. You could use olive oil too, garlic, paprika, lemon juice, salt. And I'm leaving out the cayenne because I do not like cayenne. I'm not a big spicy person. Okay. So you're just gonna mix it. This is actually gonna go right on your salmon. So if you're using fresh garlic, you want to grate or mince 4 cloves of garlic. And we're going to be using 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, or olive oil will be perfectly fine. Just eyeballing that. Let me get my garlic in because I'm cheating today. Minced garlic for time's sake. And then we're going to be using, you could use regular paprika or you could use smoked paprika. And if you have it, we're going to be adding 1 teaspoon of paprika and a ½ teaspoon optional of cayenne pepper. I will be leaving that out. Where are you? Okay, and then we're just going to combine everything. Oh, lemon juice. Forgot about the lemon juice. Half of a lemon. So I went ahead and cut mine in half. And you're just going to give it a stir and combine everything. All right, now I'm going to put the salmon fillet on the sheet pan. I'm just going to show you with one, okay? And what you're going to do is just, you want to put this mixture on the fillet itself and make sure it gets all over the fillet. Can you guys see that?
Yes. Kimmie, do you defrost the salmon fillet?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, that's a great question. That salmon fillet has been defrosting. I left it in the refrigerator overnight to defrost, but my refrigerator is really cold, so I set it out a couple hours.
Okay.
And got it nice and defrosted. Okay, now we're gonna add a generous helping of the Everything Bagel seasoning. And let's see if you can see this. So I'm just gonna have, and it's actually gonna be a full like layer over the whole fillet. Okay, and if you're messy like me, you can kind of pick up the fillet and let the stuff, the residual stuff that's kind of fallen off, you can kind of get that to the side and sprinkle it on the next one. All right, so you're gonna do that with all of your fillets, or if you have just one, just do it the one, but I had multiple. And then you are done preparing the salmon. So if you would like, you could put those in, if you're gonna bake that today, you can go ahead and bake it, or if you just want to leave it, in the refrigerator and bake it the next day. I would suggest though, and I should have noted this before, that if you are going to be making this tomorrow or the next day or the next day, you might want to just hold off on the lemon juice because the acid is going to kind of eat away and cook the chicken. So you don't want, the fish. So you want to leave the lemon juice off and just maybe add the garlic and the paprika, and then you could add the lemon juice afterwards after you bake it, So that's that. Now we're going to move on to our sides, which are going to be roasted. And also, you want to cook this in the oven, at a higher, like 400-ish, and just kind of check it. And, depending on how large your salmon is how long it'll take to cook. And I usually don't like to give times because I don't want to be blamed if something turns out really dry or underdone. So just make sure you know how you like your food. If you have a specific way you like your salmon, just kind of peek in and see how it's looking, pop it back in the oven if it's not done, okay? But I'd set a timer and make sure that you're checking it sooner than later so you don't get it so well done. All right, so now we're moving on to our turkey burgers and collard wraps and homemade fries with our mustard sauce. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make our turkey burgers. And I think last time we did this, we froze the burgers because this was the meal that was going to be, third or fourth down the list. We only have 3 meals or 3 dinners this time. But so if you want to freeze these burgers, they freeze great. Or if you want to leave them in the fridge and have them, tomorrow for lunch or whatever, you can. But we are going to need your 2 portobello mushrooms, which I have already prepared and diced. So this is actually 2. It's a lot of mushrooms. So I went ahead and diced those. You're going to need 1 bell pepper finely diced. So I went ahead and diced a bell pepper. You're going to need an egg, your turkey meat, and some salt and pepper and olive oil, and that is it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by dumping my 1 pound of turkey in a bowl, but we're going to have to be sauteing some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in the bowl and then just leave it for the time being. And then you're going to get a skillet, put a little bit of avocado oil or olive oil, whatever you have, about 2 tablespoons it's calling for. And we're going to add the mushrooms to the oil and start sauteing that. And that's going to go for about 10 minutes or so, okay? You want the skillet nice and hot before you add the mushrooms, okay? And then I'll kind of talk you through where I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper to my ground turkey. Does anybody have any questions so far, or are we good?
Good.
Oh, you know what? You know what I forgot to do? I'm so sorry. After we get this going, I got to go back and we got to make our eggplant. All right, so my skillet is hot. I'm going to add in my mushrooms, and it is saying these guys have got to cook for about 10 minutes-ish. So that's going to give us a lot of time to
Eggplant time.
cut our eggplant. You really want these to be, I'm actually out of avocado oil. I'll use this spray. And make sure you have enough oil in the skillet. I have some coconut oil left. I need to make a Costco run. Okay, so those are going, and you want that on medium to high heat. All right. And after about 10 minutes, you're going to add the bell peppers, the red bell pepper. So I'm going to set that over there. Okay. All right. So on to the eggplant. So has anybody roasted eggplants or sauteed or anybody?
No.
All right, so you can, I don't ever peel my eggplant, but if the skin grosses you out and you're like, nope, no thank you, you can peel it with the, vegetable peeler, okay? I am gonna cut off the end just because it's got this little hard piece right here, so I'll
I
get.
cooked my eggplant on the grill before. Comes out really good.
Oh,
With
yum.
Diane speaking. Yeah, it's
Oh,
really
hi,
good on the
Diane.
grill.
Yeah, oh, that sounds amazing. Okay, so I'm just gonna start, and so I'm gonna cube these. It's gonna look like this. And it doesn't really matter what size. I'm just gonna kind of try to get them all the same size. So if you wanted to go smaller, but these are about 1-inch cubes-ish. Close enough. And once they get going, I'm just gonna throw them on my sheet pan. I'm gonna be cooking my veggies, the eggplant on one sheet pan, and the green beans and the salmon on another. All right. Okay. So I have heard that you can cut your eggplant and then salt them and try to get some of the moisture out. Let them sit for a while and then roast them. You might get a little bit better texture, but we'll see. I think it's fine without, but if you want to take it one extra step. Okay, then you're, again, same thing. You're just going to be adding, this one's a little thick, salt and pepper and some type of oil, making sure everything's nice and coated, and then baking it. So if you have a large enough oven, or if you have 2 ovens, I would roast the eggplant at about 425. I think you could probably do the salmon and the eggplant at the same time. You have one oven. So I would add my extra salmon and have the green beans right beside it. Or if you don't have enough space, you could just do this on a separate sheet pan. I'm going to stir this guy back here. All right, I know it has been exactly 10 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and add in my bell pepper. And let that cook down a couple more minutes. Running out of room here. Okay, and then we're going to talk about how we are going to wrap these guys. So I am from the South, and we eat a lot of collards. So I'm very comfortable with the collard plant. But we're using these as wraps. The collard is a very, very thick, dense kind of leaf, right? And so a lot of people will boil these for a couple minutes to kind of break down the toughness of the leaf itself. I don't mind it at all, so I don't do that, and I skip that step. What it also does too is it softens this stem here. But another way you can kind of get around this, and again, I don't really mind this stem, but you can, oop, you're not seeing me, but I am creating a V like this, kind of like a triangle, and I take off the stem and remove the stem, but I still have the majority of the leaf, right? And so what you're gonna do is once those turkey burgers are formed and made, you're going to wrap it as well as you can, just kind of in the collard itself, and eat it like a wrap. if your collards, because all collards come in different sizes, and you're like, well, all my supermarket had were these small little leaves. Well, that's fine too. You can just double it, right? So you remove the stem if you'd like, or you can just pull it off yourself like that. And then you just have one on the bottom as a bottom bun and one like on the top. Or if you really need 3, you can kind of like whatever you need, right? But if you don't like a really thick, kind of like, it's almost like kale, but not as tough as kale. It's almost as tough as kale, a little bit smoother. Boil it for like a minute or 2. Just drop it in a pot of boiling water, and it'll really soften up and give a good little give to it. So, but I wouldn't do that until the night of that you're actually cooking it. So right before, that's something that I wouldn't do before, but I would do right before you are actually going to be eating these guys. Has anybody ever used collard as a wrap? Yeah, I know Debbie has.
No, but I will. That looks yummy.
Yeah. Have you ever eaten collards before?
I threw some in with dandelion greens a couple weeks ago, but I couldn't distinguish between them. So I'm just going to try collards alone in the next week or so.
Okay. All right. Oh, you know what? And I forgot we're supposed to be adding in a half of an onion. So maybe throw that in there. I'm just gonna roughly chop this guy really quickly.
There's lots of different videos out there on different ways, different hacks on how to wrap with collards.
Oh yeah?
Usually I'm trying to done it for a long time, but I think it's Clean Foodie Cravings at Clean Foodie Cravings. Try to say that quick. I'm pretty sure it's her, but I could be wrong.
Okay,
But
I'll have to look into that.
yeah, but she, does it in parchment and it turns out beautiful every time, which I can never get.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, Debbie, what are you making?
I am making something called caldo verde. It is a Portuguese dish and it's got chorizo and sweet potato in it.
Oh, nice.
I didn't want to hurt Kimmie's feelings, but we don't eat salmon, we don't eat mushrooms, and we don't eat eggplants.
Oh, no. Well, gosh, you should have let me know. I could have changed it up before we went.
No. Like I said, I have all these cookbooks and I've been wanting to cook through these cookbooks.
Okay.
And so this is one of them. And like I said, it's a good accountability for me because it's like, okay, maybe I'm not making salmon, but I can make something.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so now we're gonna work on the sweet potato fries. And I started this sweet potato was really ugly. And if the skin looks dirty and all gross, like my kids aren't gonna eat it. So I kind of started just peeling away. I'm just too lazy to get the vegetable peeler out, but I got some of the bad spots out. See, I mean, it just looked bad. It's fine to eat, 100%, I wouldn't care, but my kids would be like, ew, any reason not to eat something, right? So I'm gonna show you 2 ways. I kind of like to do fries just like this, or we have them usually just kind of cubed, which I'll do with this one. Just like we did with the sweet potatoes, really. Just kind of cubed them this way. Like this. So either or, and you'll start to notice that once you start to cut a potato right, it kind of starts browning and oxidizing. So what you want to do, if you're not going to cook the fries right away, you want to go ahead and put them in some cold water and submerge them in a Tupperware container. Okay, so let's say I cut all of these fries and I'm not going to make them tonight because we're having the salmon and the other stuff. So I am just going to I'll show you. I have one of these long glass storage containers. And I'm just going to fill it all the way up and then fill it with water that all of these guys are submerged. Then when you go to bake them, you're going to drain the water out, and you're going to put it on like a paper towel or a towel and let them completely dry, and then salt them. And after you do that, they'll be super crispy, and it'll kind of like remove some of the starchiness of the potato a little bit as well. All right. So that's what's going to go with our turkey burgers. And you guys can go ahead and finish cutting these up.
Onto the DRG. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm just going to slide that out of the way. All right. Some of the toppings for the turkey burgers could be a sliced red onion, sliced tomato, more lettuce, jalapeno sauces, guacamole, whatever sounds good, regular avocado, whatever sounds good to you, that's what I want you to use, okay? So it doesn't really matter what toppings, pickles, whatever you want on there, okay? So now we're gonna form the burgers. I've got the meat here.
Kimmie, what about the frittata? You're not burning it, are you?
I just turned it off. Thank you so much. I turned off my timer. My gosh, lifesaver.
Mmm.
Really pretty. Okay, thank you for the reminder. Oh, okay. All right, so now I'm gonna, in an ideal world, you would let this cool down, and then you're gonna put it, and actually on mic, so I don't wanna cook my burgers, and then put them in the freezer. So you're gonna let this cool all the way down. See, it's still got steam coming off, so it would definitely cook the meat if I put it in there. And you could you could make meatballs out of these if you don't like burgers or whatever, but I'm gonna make big patties and cook them on the skillet. You could grill these as well, but if my husband's out of town, I'm usually not manning the grill, so I'm just gonna do it on like my cast iron or something inside. And
Why is that? I am woman, hear me roar, but when it comes to the grill, I want nothing to do with
no,
it.
I think it's just like one more step. You go outside, you gotta turn on the gas, you gotta take off the cover, you gotta turn it on, and then it's like freezing out here. So I don't know. It's
Too
just
funny.
one more thing, right? So I think it tastes just fine on my skillet.
You guys, maybe there's just one thing we gotta let the guys do, because basically they're not too busy in the kitchen exactly. So
Right,
leave
yeah.
it for them.
Yeah, I know. My husband comes in and like after I've prepped all the food and the meat and everything, and he goes out in 10 minutes, and I'm like, thank you so much. It was so delicious, even though I did everything else.
Same thing.
But thank you
Wow,
so
babe,
much,
those
honey.
steaks were great.
Thank you. Amazing job. Okay, so after you prepare all of your turkey burgers and get those situated, then you are completely done. You've got your frittata done, your chicken, your teriyaki chicken and bok choy prepped, everything bagel, salmon is delicious. And again, if you don't like salmon, you could absolutely do this on another fish, right? Roast your eggplants chopped, and oh hi Lindy, and your green beans are prepped, and the turkey burgers are almost done. If you want to go ahead, one thing you can do is go ahead and wash the collards, and put a little paper towel in between each one and put them in a Ziploc bag and store them that way. That way the paper towel gets a little bit of the moisture from the leaf. And then you've got your sweet potatoes, homemade fries already made. So you are officially done. Debbie, what do you have left to do?
Well, I just did this. I only did this one dish, and
Okay.
unfortunately, the chorizo's sitting here, and I keep eating it. But I'm doing this tonight. I did a couple things for meal prep yesterday. So, and when I'm gonna do a commercial here for Nom Nom Paleo. It's the newest book. It's green. says, let's
Okay.
go. And where's my thing? Hang on. What page is it? 115. Hang on. I'll show you. It is, I don't know if you can see it. My lighting's so bad right here. It's called Sunday Night Lasagna.
Oh, nice.
And so I have everything for it. I will probably make this tomorrow. I was going to do it tonight, but now that I'm looking around, I'm pretty tired. But the lasagna sheets are yellow squash.
Oh, did she do an Instagram recently about this? I think I saw it.
She may have.
Yeah.
I remember seeing something like that. The
Yeah.
only problem with this, because I'm really intrigued, is the 3 cups of raw macadamia nuts. Of course, I couldn't find raw macadamia nuts.
She did the Instagram story about this.
Okay, so I missed it. What did she say about the macadamia nuts?
Well, she didn't say. I just watched it. I didn't see the audio, but I saw her do the. She put everything in a blender and made like the cheese sauce.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm super psyched about that. But I went to the grocery store and I thought, oh, macadamia nuts, and of course, all you can get there are dry roasted.
Oh.
So I'm gonna order. I got those anyway.
Yeah.
But if it turns out really well, I'm gonna just have raw macadamia nuts delivered, because it looks really incredible. So she makes the yellow squash as the noodles, and then you make the mac nut cheese or ricotta,
Right.
and then you have
yeah.
And then you have the meat sauce. So it's just like a regular lasagna, except you're using nuts and and squash. So I'm pretty psyched about it. And if it works well, my husband will be thrilled because he loves lasagna.
Oh, so does mine. Well,
Yeah.
keep me posted on that. I love
absolutely.
Everything she makes is phenomenal, so I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Oh, here's something fun I did. You can't tell now. I bought myself a new little spatula. It's a little bunny. It says hip hop on it.
Ah!
And honey bunny.
Oh, cute.
And bunny love.
Oh, I love it.
And that's why I tell everybody, sometimes it's little fun things that you reward yourself with for meal prepping.
Yeah.
Because they were $4.
Yeah.
And I keep looking at them going, oh, how cute.
Oh, yeah. whatever can
yeah. So ladies that did not cook with us today, understand that seems like a lot. And when you get done, you'll feel like you're Wonder Woman, because in less than an hour, you have 4 meals prepped, and you will feel like the goddess for the rest of the week. So it works out really well. And we're super, super happy that Kimmie decided to show us how to do this. So y'all have any questions?
Don't have any questions. Well, you know what? I do have one question. So is most of the cooking that you do from your Whole30 book, or are you just sourcing out recipes from anything that's Whole30 compatible?
Are you talking to myself, to me, or
Yeah.
Debbie?
Either one.
Yeah. So yeah, I source them out all over. Yep. They're from, some of these just like roasted eggplant and green beans is just really, it's just a plain vegetable roasting it, right? And the teriyaki chicken is just, adding the Whole30 approved compliant sauce to the chicken. But to answer your question, I just kind of create these combining foods, and then I do also pull from people that I love to follow online, like Nom Nom or all the other wonderful Whole30 bloggers out there.
Okay, very interesting. Good.
And just another note, Diane, the reason we're doing Whole30 recipes right now is because our whole shebang group is on a Whole30 for basically 2 months by the time it's all said and done. They have a lot of Whole30 recipes they have to follow. So there will be a time when we do this and it's not necessarily Whole30. We'll probably do different themes. Kimmie and I are going to have to chit chat about that. But because we're doing a Whole30 group right now, we figured we would keep things Whole30 as not to tempt them.
I love it. Oh, and I'll share my latest kitchen gadget that I bought. It's not small like yours, but I cooked my dog's food because my little dog had to have 21 teeth pulled. So
Oh,
she had to
my.
have, I know, to the tune of a lot of money. But anyway, she had to have soft foods to eat. So I said, and I had bought something from Just for Dogs. It's a nutrition supplement. And I started cooking their food. Well, you have to mix that supplement in with all of this food and mixing it and stirring it. I'm like, oh, heck no. So I bought me a nice tabletop mixer.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
smart mixer. That was, so it was not $5, but let me
No.
tell you what the things I can make with that. So that's my
Yeah.
fun little
That's
toy.
exciting.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
exciting. My husband's like, well, where'd that come from? I'm like, that whole thing.
I've had that for
That
years.
whole thing.
That's funny. I love it. That's great.
That's awesome.
All right, ladies. Well,
right.
what I will do is this Zoom video will be up tomorrow sometime. I do have a board meeting until about noon, so it'll probably be in the afternoon. And what we've done is all the videos that we have, or all the meal plans that we've done are in, if you go to the topic meal plan videos, meal prep videos, excuse me, all 4 of them will be right there. And so you can watch the video, and right underneath is the menu and the grocery list. So, you know, if you needed to miss a week, or you want to come back and do this, you can always find it there. Or if you get lost, just let me know and I will tag you so you can find it. But our goal is to have a library of meal prep videos so that, you know, we all keep inspired. So it's hard to, sometimes it's tough when you're doing meal prep, but anything that'll help, we're down with. So,
Awesome.
so always feel free to, you know, tell us anything that you need.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you
Of
once
course.
again, Kimmie. And I'm so glad Diane and Linda, you were here today. This is such an invaluable resource.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you. It was great.
All right, ladies, take care.
Okay,
Kimmie,
okay.
I'll see you on the flip side.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.